What's up, everyone? Alright, as you may already know, or you may not, today was a state of play from Sony, and we're going to run through all the info that came out from that with you. We got some awesome looking new titles, like the Days Gone Remaster, Tides of Annihilation, a Lies of P expansion, Stellar Blade DLC, new title from House Marquee, and tons of new info about titles we already knew about, like the producer of Grand Theft Auto's new game. I am Vberg, welcome to Game Conclave, and thanks for watching. If you could give us a like and subscribe, it'd really help us out. Without further ado, let's hop into all the new game info from today's State of Play. Alright, we're going to dive into the announcements first and start with all the DLCs and expansions. Alright, so Dave the Diver has a planned update where they're going to be adding in Ichiban Kasuga from the Yakuza Like a Dragon turn-based RPGs. And he's going to be getting up to some new beat-em-up adventures in Dave the Diver, and apparently recipe scavenging. Looks hilarious. It's going to be dropping on April of 2025. Okay, this one didn't really fit into any neat, clean categories like some of the other games, but Monster Hunter Wilds, which isn't out, but is not a new announcement, but they did announce today that at State of Play, their first title update is confirmed for spring of this year. It's going to be added in the monster Mizutsune, and a second update will be coming in the summer, so all you hunters out there getting ready, sounds like they're going to be hitting the ground running on title updates when Wilds launches on the 28th of this month. For the Xbox Series S and X, PS5, and PC. Alright, next up we have more Stellar Blade DLC. That's right, they're going to be doing a crossover with Nikke, the Goddess of Victory. They have confirmed this will be coming in June of 2025. It's going to include a small new area, some new boss fights, and new outfits for Eve. And they did also confirm that the PC version of Stellar Blade, that's kind of been talked about for a while now, will be launching the same time, June this year. Alright, and the last bit of expansions and DLC that were announced today, we have a full-fledged Lies of P expansion. It's going to be dropping. It's called the Overture, and it's going to be a prequel, actually. So you're going to be transported back in time to the final days of Krat before the Puppet Frenzy Massacre. And you'll be following around the legendary Stalker, uncovering hidden aspects of the past that are going to apparently shape the future of Lies of P. It looks pretty killer. This was a great game, and we're excited for some more Lies of P. Alright, and let's hop into the new games announced. First up, we got a couple console ports announced for some PC titles. Abiotic Factor, which is an open-world survival crafting game where you can play solo or with up to 6 other players. You're in an underground research facility, and you're stuck between a paranormal containment failure and a zealous military crusade. And you'll have to create traps and craft gear and try to survive in this game. It was already released on PC last May in early access. But I'm thinking since we're seeing console ports here, the early access is probably going to be coming to an end pretty soon. Which is pretty exciting. I've heard good things about this one. It's going to be dropping on consoles this summer for Xbox Series S and X, PS5, and as I mentioned already, it's already in early access on PC. Blueprints is a strategy puzzle adventure title where every time you open a door, you assign what kind of room is behind it, and each room that is then created will have its own challenges and secrets that you have to uncover. And the game will constantly change up on you. Every new day, it changes the floor plan. And your goal is to try to get to the rumored mysterious 46th hidden room. This is going to be coming spring of this year. Alright, let's hop into the newly announced titles that we learned about today. First up, we got Darwin's Paradox. It's being released by Konami. It's a little action-adventure platformer, and in it we're going to play as an adorable little blue octopus named Darwin. And he's going to use his tentacles and ink to survive and escape from a deadly food production plant. And it turns out that the food production plant is actually a front for aliens who are trying to take over the world. So you'll help Darwin save the world. And just kind of looks silly and fun. Yeah, and Darwin's Paradox will be dropping sometime later this year for the Xbox Series S and X, PS5, Switch, and PC. All right, next up we've got a kind of whimsical and experimental looking exploration game called Dreams of Another. So it's a third-person shooter, but they've stated the goal is, rather than using guns to destroy, you'll use them to create. So in this kind of ethereal, dreamlike world, when you shoot your gun, you'll actually cause objects to materialize, and you'll rebuild this world with your gun. And piece by piece, you'll put together the mysteries of this dreamlike world and how it got this way. It's going to be dropping on the PS5 and the PSVR 2. All right, next up we got Metal Eden. This is going to be a fast-paced, sci-fi themed first-person shooter. You were playing as a hyper unit Asuka, who is apparently a battle android, who has been sent on a suicide mission to rescue data from the monolithic city Mobius, which was previously a new home for humanity that has now been torn apart by cybernetic warfare. This is made by Raycon Games, whose previous title was Ruiner. Metal Eden will be dropping on the Xbox Series S and X, PS5, and PC on May 6th of this year.
I remember you.
Run away. All right, and this one actually shadow dropped at the State of Play. It is Warriors Abyss, a roguelike Muso game, which I don't think anyone saw this coming. Like I said, it shadow dropped today, in addition to being announced at the State of Play. So yeah, if you ever want to team up with Lubu and various other Muso characters in a hack and slash roguelike against hordes of enemies, now's your chance. You can pick it up on the Xbox Series S and X, PS4, PS5, and PC. All right, and now we have the return of the Sonic racing games. Yeah, we got Sonic Racing Crossworlds. You'll race across land, sea, air, space, and time as you work through the travel rings and all sorts of new dimensions. You can play a solo, part of a team, a whole slew of offline and online modes, competitive races, unlock special skills for your characters, acquire power-ups on the tracks, and defeat your foes. It's nice seeing that this series hasn't been forgotten about. And there's going to be actually a closed network test you can sign up for on February 21st. So if you want to get in on that and some Sonic Racing, make sure you do that on the PS5. This one is also coming to us from Sega, and this is awesome. So the creators of the Streets of Rage 4 game are working on a new Shinobi game. You'll once again be playing as Joe Musashi in Shinobi: The Art of Vengeance. And that is freaking awesome. So first off, let's talk about this art style. This is just gorgeous. Apparently the story, Joe's village has been burned to the ground, his clan's been turned into stone, and he will embark on a quest for revenge in this awesome, sweet-looking, fast-paced, violent, and fun-looking side-scrolling action game. Gonna have tons of weapons to master, tools to overcome obstacles, and it's just really awesome to see Shinobi coming back. August of this year, it's gonna be hitting the Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. Next up is Saros from House Marquee. This is their follow-up to Returnal. They specifically stated that this was built upon everything they learned from Returnal. You'll be playing as Arjun Devraj, a Soltari enforcer, on the planet Carcosa, as it is experiencing an ominous eclipse on a daily basis. Arjun will be searching for answers to this phenomenon on a lost colony. So I'd expect all sorts of brutal bullet hell elements, permanent progression systems, tons of upgrades, intense third-person action shooting, combat, just everything a Returnal had, probably bigger and better. Coming in 2026. They did say later on in this year there's going to be a full gameplay preview. So yeah, we can't wait to see what that's like.
And I will find you.
All right, next we got Digimon Story Time Stranger. Yeah, the Digimon Story is a great Digimon RPG series. It's like Pokemon kind of meets Persona. There's it's a weird description. There's some calendar elements, tons of monster collecting and breeding, and really fun turn-based battles in this series. Looks like normally you'll choose between a male or female character, and apparently dive into solving the mysteries that led to your world's collapse and try to prevent its destruction. And I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to this one. I think the last Digimon Story game, the Cyber Sleuth duology, ate up a solid month or two of my life. So yeah, we love Digimon around here. This one's going to be releasing at an unspecified date later this year. It's going to be on the Xbox Series S, NX, PS5, and PC.
Seize the future. Together.
Alright, this next one is looking pretty sweet, and I'm pretty sure this one probably stole the show for a lot of people. It's got some awesome looking Devil May Cry style combat meets some elements of like Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah, it's an action game. It's called Tides of Annihilation. And in it, the world has ended. You will be playing in London, which has been engulfed by this otherworldly invasion. Your character, Gwendolyn, has discovered that she has the mysterious power to command the legendary Knights of the Round Table. So she'll take off on a quest of vengeance in an attempt to save her sister across two different worlds, the shattered remnants of London and the mythical Avalon. It looks like it's going to be just really fast-paced, slick, badass character action game. Giant knight fights, apparently 30 unique bosses. This looks like a PS2 game in all the right ways. Unfortunately, we don't have an estimated release date on this one yet. Hopefully it's not too far out, though. It's going to be dropping on the Xbox Series S, NX, PS5, and PC. Alright, we've heard rumors on this one before, but we finally today got confirmation on a Days Gone remaster. It's going to be hitting the PS5 on the 25th of April. It can be added in all sorts of new features. A permadeath mode, a speedrun mode, an enhanced photo mode, new accessibility features, and a horde assault mode where you'll try and survive against waves of freakers. And yeah, if you've already got the game, I believe in the digital format, it's just a $10 upgrade from the PS4 to PS5 version. So yeah, the Days Gone fanbase can breathe a sigh of relief. If this does well, I think there's a good chance a sequel could be coming down the road, so let's keep our fingers crossed this does well. Alright, and that covers all of the new announcements for DLC and upcoming games. So let's get into the games that we already knew about that just had new info revealed, such as story elements or gameplay glimpses or even their launch dates revealed. We're going to start with Five Nights at Freddy's, Secret of the Mimic. We got our first glimpse of gameplay for Secret of the Mimic, and now a confirmed release date of June 13th, 2025 for both PS5 and the PSVR 2. And yeah, I think there's like almost like 20 games in this series now. It just none of us here have actually played any of them, and I guess we're gonna have to get around to that. Seems like they keep cranking them out, so they must be good. WWE 2K25 is going to have a feature exclusive to next-gen systems, so just for the Xbox Series S and X and the PS5, and it's going to be called The Island, where your player character can be customized and run around looking at monuments themed after various WWE figures and socialize with up to 50 other players. They mentioned there's also going to be quests to do here and this kind of like hub world thing. Yeah, the game's dropping on Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, PS5, and PC, but again, this new multiplayer element is going to be exclusive to next-gen consoles. I feel like we just covered this one, but oh, that's because we did in our Sunday news program. But yeah, last week someone accidentally leaked the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater release date of August 28th, 2025 onto the PlayStation Store, and that caused Konami to just go ahead and drop the trailer that was probably supposed to be world premiered here at the State of Play today. But in August you'll be able to pick this one up on Xbox Series S and X, PS5, and PC. The Midnight Walk is a very interesting looking claymation, stop motion, first person horror adventure title from the developers of Lost and Random. You'll play as the Burnt One, who has befriended a lost lantern creature named Potboy. And you will escort Potboy, that's a silly name, through a twisted world where you'll have to outsmart the strange creatures you encounter who are trying to get Potboy's flame for themselves. Just a really super unique looking aesthetics on this one. Just really interesting. It's going to be dropping on May 8th for the PS5 and PC, and it will have VR support on those platforms as well. Alright, Borderlands 4 finally has a release date and will be dropping on September 23rd of this year. It was really interesting. I feel like in a lot of these trailers, especially this new one, they really focused on the chaotic action the series can have, and have really been downplaying and not even mentioning some of the comedic stuff and the humor in these trailers. It feels like they were serious when they said they wanted to tone down on the humor elements after 3's story, and humor kind of went over like lead balloons. And I don't know, maybe that's something the series needs, to just focus more on its gameplay a little bit more, less on all the cringe lord meme tier humor. Some of that stuff ages pretty poorly, so yeah, we'll see what it's like when it actually launches. But yeah, on September 23rd. Hell Is Us finally has a release date as well. It is September 4th of 2025. It's going to be a hack and slash game with, I think, some light RPG elements. You'll play as a UN peacekeeper named Remy, who's looking for his parents who are trapped in a war zone, only to discover that supernatural beings now infest the area. And sounds like a pretty cool plot premise behind that, so yeah. The studio that is making this made the Mordheim City of the Damned game, and some of the members on staff worked on the Deus Ex Human Revolution and Deus Ex Mankind Divided games. So I'm kind of optimistic about this one. It'll be hitting the Xbox Series S and X, PS5, and PC in September. Lost Soul Aside finally has a release date, and I'll be honest, I kind of thought this game was just going to be vaporware for the longest time. Turns out apparently it's finally coming out. I don't even know how long it's been. It's been like 10 years since this game was announced. One thing I've always thought was kind of strange is all the character models here. There's a ton of fluidity to their movement, like their limbs and their jackets and various pieces of attire and weaponry. They all have a lot of really fluid animation. But then all their faces look really stiff and awkward, and I don't know why. I always fixate on it, and I don't even know why I'm talking about it. But yeah, it looks like there could be some just pretty sweet Devil May Cry style Bayonetta over the top character action game combat going on here. It'll be really interesting to see after all these years whether it lives up to the hype this thing's generated. It's finally launching on May 30th this year for the PS5 and PC. Directive 8020 is an interactive drama survival horror title coming to us from Supermassive Games, the creators of Until Dawn, The Quarry, and the various Dark Pictures anthology titles, of which Directive 8020 is actually a part of. This is actually the 8th entry in the aforementioned anthology. You'll be playing as the crew of a colony ship, the Cassiopeia, looking for a new home for humanity. And it looks like the ship or the crew's been infected by some kind of alien life form or something that can mimic people, and it's wreaking death and havoc in its wake. And you won't be able to know who's friend and who's foe. And that just sounds like a really awesome setup for a Supermassive game. Really big fans of their titles. So it'll be dropping on the Xbox Series S, NX, PS5, and PC on October 2nd. All right, we already knew that Onimusha 2 Remaster was coming, but now we have a confirmed release date of May 23rd, 2025. I'm super excited to be diving back into Onimusha 2. I actually started the franchise with 2, and then I went back and played 1. So this was my introduction to the series, and I just freaking love it. It's a great hack and slash series. Some horror-ish vibes, parry system, bit of exploration, bit of puzzle solving. And I can't wait to see the third one come back as well, just to see the reception, from people who never got to play these, that get the opportunity now, and yeah. But Onimusha 2 will be hitting the Xbox One, Xbox Series S, NX, PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC in May.
It's the Yagyu clan's mission to stop the demons when they rise up to the surface.
Speaking of Onimusha, we've got more information now about Onimusha Way of the Sword. It's going to be the 5th mainline entry in the series. It's going to be dropping sometime in 2026. And we now know that the main protagonist is Miyamoto Musashi, the famous swordsman, the inventor of the Japanese sword school Niten Ichi Ryu, and the author of the Book of Five Rings. And I think it's pretty safe to say, based on the announcement trailer that we got at the Keighley Game of the Year award show, and this new trailer, that we can just expect all the usual Onimusha elements. Fast-paced swordplay, parry system, the Oni Gauntlet, nasty-ass demons to kill, absorbing defeated enemy souls, powering our weapons, and yeah, I'm so freaking excited for this one. It's gonna be hitting the Xbox Series S, NX, PS5, and PC sometime next year. Alright, we got to look at some more footage from Split Fiction, the upcoming co-op game from Haze Light Studios, the creators of It Takes Two and A Way Out. Split Fiction's two characters, Zoe and Mio, have become trapped inside a virtual world that is a recreation of both of the stories that they were writing. Looks like there's going to be tons of platforming challenges and puzzles to solve with a friend or a loved one, in couch co-op or online co-op. And we're really looking forward to this one here at Game Conclave. Everything Hazelight has done so far has been freaking fantastic. Can't wait for this to launch on March 6th on the Xbox Series S, NX, PS5, and PC.
I did not sign up for this! Brace yourself, Zoe!
And lastly, we finally have some more info on Mindseye. This is coming to us by way of Build a Rocket Boy Games. Which is it's a silly sounding name, but this studio is actually headed by Leslie Benzies. Now, if you're not familiar with the name, he used to work at Rockstar, where he was a producer, lead designer, and director of a few titles you might have heard of, such as Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Manhunt, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 4, Red Dead Redemption, LA Noire, Max Payne 3, and Grand Theft Auto 5. In fact, it might be safe to say that if Grand Theft Auto 6 doesn't live up to people's expectations, it's a good chance it's because this guy, Leslie Benzies, and Dan Houser, who wrote and produced all of those games too, have both left the studio. They left after GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. So yeah, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Mindseye. In Mindseye, you're going to be playing as Jacob Diaz, a former soldier who's been fitted with a neural implant known as Mindseye. And after engaging in a covert mission, he discovers he's missing some of his memories. And he launches a crusade to discover the truth about what those memories were and why they're gone. And he's in a world that's been shaped by out-of-control AI research and unchecked military power. So the game's going to have third-person shooting mechanics, a cover system. You'll be able to explore on foot, cars, planes, in a story-driven action-adventure title. And yeah, it's going to be kind of hilarious if this ends up releasing before GTA 6, because it's actually planned to release this summer for Xbox Series S, NX, PS5, and PC.
Yes, make it stop! Make it stop!
We hope you found some new info for a title you were already looking forward to, or maybe found a new title to look forward to. But please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know what you think of these games down in the comments. And as always, from all of us here at Game Conclave, thank you so much for watching.